All right, so the first topic we're going to cover is re-rolling. Now, what you see here is a video of me multi-boxing 4 versions of BlueStacks playing Epic 7. And the reason I chose to do this is 1, my computer can handle it. 2, this is a more efficient way to re-roll. And honestly, I prefer it just because it's easier. I've got 4 chances of getting what I want. But what you're seeing right now is me just booting it up for the first time, so it's kind of laggy all the way around. I'm using the latest version of BlueStacks 4, and we've just got the game installed. So the reason for doing this is, 1, I can sync 4 accounts together. It's really, really simple. I don't know if you'll see me sync it up here or if I've already synced them up. I don't think I've synced them up yet. But basically, you just click up there at the 3-line bar, and you can sync all these together. They're booting up for the very first time. You do have to update the Google Play Games in order to play this on BlueStacks, so take note of that. The way I typically do this when I'm multi-boxing is I wait for everything to download, and in the case of the video, I wanted to make sure I didn't have any extra stress on my system, so I'm going to let all of these download completely in the tutorial. At this point, you can actually click Guest Login, and you should be able to get started in the tutorial process. But what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video, and then we'll jump back once we are up to the Selective Summon. And the reason being is because I don't really want to spoil anything in the game, because especially if this is your first time playing, I do recommend you at least watch the story. It was a really cool story overall. But in general, I do want to say you don't have to do this. If you're doing this on another device or another type of device, it's really, really easy to re-roll. You can do this in 1. I just prefer 4 because I've got 4 chances of doing it. If we have events going on like we did when I was doing this, technically the real way you would re-roll is you're going to re-roll the event summons to the selective, but in this case, not everybody's going to have that event summon, so we did that later, not that it really mattered, but here you go, you're going to see the patch come up right here, and I'm going to let it completely download, and then we'll come back when we hit the selective summon. Just as a heads up, you have to beat 4 chapters before you get to the selective summon, so that's where I'll meet you up is at the end of the 4th mission, and we'll start our selective summons. Okay, so we just beat mission 1-4. Now it's time to start the selective summon process. Here, what you're going to see is you're going to need to start with a covenant summon first. It's part of the tutorial. You have to do it. At this point in the game, if you happen to start during an event like this, the advised thing to do is you're trying to roll for a Moonlight Summon, a light dark unit 5-star, or you're trying to roll for a really, really important 5-star, natural, just RGB 5-star here. That's a less than 1% chance if you're really trying to go for those Moonlight Summons. It's worth it, though, during the event, because you can start with something super, super overpowered really early on if you want to roll on one of these events. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience, but most people aren't going to start like that, and you'll just do your 1 summon, and then you're going to jump into selective. With the Rise update, it's now changed to where you're guaranteed a 5-star summon on certain steps. Well, we happen to get lucky again, boxing 4 accounts. We get Sigrid right here in the top right corner instantly, which is now the most advised summon in the game due to how the game's progression goes. Right now, the big thing that really matters is you want to pick up Sigrid early on just for the fact of she's a amazing character overall, just in terms of just damage output for a blue, an ice unit. And then on top of that, you want her for your Wyvern team. Now, we'll discuss all this stuff at another point, but this is the reason why you're wanting it, is because one of the most important gear grinds in the game, she is the best DPS for it. Speed set is king in this game. And that's just because you want to be able to control your unit's speed, and by speed tuning certain units, it's one of the most sought after sets in the game, and she's really one of the best, if not the best, main DPS for the team. So what we're doing here is we're going through the rest of the initial summon, and I end up trying to test the new selective summon. So if you don't get her on that first 10 pull, they've got a new ability you can save pulls, which is actually really cool. So if you're the curious type and you want to see all 30 rolls and maybe potentially try to creep your better chance, your better option, you could. Here, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm gonna mess with it a little bit, and then I just click it, I saved it, and we just jump into it. It's not really worth. So it's new to me, so I was checking it out. I'm going, okay, wait, now how do we do this? I'm trying to get out of the tutorial. As you can see here, we got Sigrid, we got Potion Vial, which is good. It's a good artifact. I wasn't sure if I wanted to hit record. I was like, wait, is this how we do it? And then I'm like, yeah, screw it. Let's jump in and see what we get. And because it's boxing, it makes this a lot harder to deal with. Normally, I pull it out, but I wasn't really thinking about it when I was recording the video. I normally hit pause on it, and I just summon each window individually as I go along. And once they sync up, I'll occasionally turn it back on. But I roll through it. I basically get junk the rest of the way. I got some decent pulls, but nothing that I would want to keep. Typically, you're going to be wanting to look for something like a Sigrid Daydream Joker, a Sigrid like Clarissa roll. You're basically looking to advance your Wyvern team, or you're trying to get something useful for your grind along the way. Like that bottom, the roll 3 on Epic 7 roll 3 in the bottom left, 2 Daydream Jokers. That would have been fantastic if it had had Sigrid in it. That would have been an amazing start, because then you have 2 Daydream Jokers, which is the best artifact for a lot of PvE stuff. Yeah, 3-star artifact is best for a lot of PvE. It's super, super awesome that you can get a hold of really, like I said, the best that early on. But I'm rolling on here and just trying to see what I can get. I was actually a little upset that I got Water's Origin and Wind Rider, and I think Song of Stars I even got to show up on one of these. But I just messed with this for a few minutes just because I wanted to see how it would work. But ultimately, we take the initial roll on the E7 roll 2 account because it was Sigrid. I just wanted to get started. I don't plan on playing the account that deep. I'm just going to play it enough to show you guys what you need to do and kind of where you need to go. But yeah, I think right here is where I'm deciding if I wanted to take it, and I was trying to figure out how to get the summon itself to show back up. Because I'm being careful. I don't want to commit to it because I don't want to lose it. I just want I want to take that summon of it. So ended up hitting, I ended up hitting confirm once I figured I'd try it on another one, just because let's see, do I start it up on another one? Or do I finally just say screw it, if I have to do this again, I do it again? Yeah, confirm summon results, and there we go. We're committing to it. I was already fed up with it. Let's just go. And congratulations, we started with Sigrid. Now, here's the cool thing. You're going to be given a lot of information really, really quick, and we're going to go ahead and pause it real quick, and I'm going to get it focused in on just that video. Okay, beautiful thing about recording in 4K, you can just go into its natural resolution, and there it is. So what you are basically looking at, I think I'm not cutting anything off. I'll adjust it a little bit and pull it up. Yeah, you're not missing anything. Okay, so we've just finished Selective Summon, and now we're going to go through and get our units put on our main team. So we're going to equip Sigrid. I'm just looking through to see what we got. We really got absolutely nothing. Helga is a specialty change unit, so I was just like, I'll put her on there. I won't Roz. We also started with an event. You probably won't have a start like this, so please, please, please keep that in mind. You're not going to have this. I got really lucky here for a starter unit. We start with Ravi, which is another really great overall good unit in the game and a lot of fun to use. So we're going to have a pretty interesting start to our tutorial account. We've got a Sigrid Ravi account. So our red unit's on lockdown, our blue unit's on lockdown. And now that you've completed the reroll, if you don't really like what you got or you want to go again, we're going to pull up the actual game now, and I'll show you how to restart the account if it's not what you're after. All right, so the video's been edited. I've been grinding on the account, and then I realized I haven't showed you actually how to reroll the account. I've showed you how to roll the account, but not how to reroll, which good news is it's really simple. All you got to do is come up here to the little menu, click on it, click on the cogwheel, and then click Reset Server. Type your name here, click Confirm, and it will reset your game data. You don't have to download anything again. All you have to do is just do that. It's going to take you to the main menu. Then you're going to need to beat through the tutorial through 1-4. you'll do your 1 Covenant summon, then you'll do your Selective Summon. If you don't get what you're after, you just keep this cycle going until you get what you're after. If you are trying to do this with a 10 pull event, you will be pulling the 10 pulls for the ML5, because that's typically what you're after. If you get it, great. If you don't, immediately go over. You don't even bother with the Selective Summon. You just keep that cycle over. So it's really simple to do. So let's move on to the next thing.